would, please bow your head while we say the invocation. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for bringing us all together again safely. We thank you as we look back on all the things that you've given us this year as we enter into fall, Lord. We ask that you please keep your hand upon us and lead us as we do the public's business. We ask these things in your name. Amen. Please join with me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We got any big things going on coming up that we need to tell the folks about?
We have a Fallback Fest coming up.
And I thought that was the case. It's in November, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
What's the date on that? It's the weekend that time falls back, but I don't know what the date is.
Yes, sir. So we have the Fallback Fest is going to be on November the 7th, and that's from 5:30 to 9:30 p.m. on State Street. Hope everybody's able to join us with that. The fire department's also hosting its first Fire Safety Week open house at the fire department, and Chief Solomon may speak a little bit more to that, but that's going to be on October the 10th, and it's going to include a blood drive. Certainly hope everybody comes out for that as well. And then we also have our Fall Recycling Shred and Drug Take-Back Day, and that's going to be on Saturday, October the 25th. That's from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., and that's here at the City Hall parking lot.
Good deal.
A lot of good things taking place.
I'll be running a little small litter cleanup this Saturday. If anybody would like to come out, we're going to meet over at 810 Charleston Highway, which is my law firm, at 9 o'clock in the morning. And we're going to go clean up the upper end of F Avenue if anybody's interested in coming. It looks terrible. We're going to go clean it up. Love to see anybody who wants to come. If not, we'll get it done. But I think Councilmember Green wanted to make a few announcements as well.
Yes, I just want us to remember that today is October the 7th. This is the second anniversary of the attack on Israel from Hamas, where innocent civilians were killed. So I attended a ceremony today at USC. I've given you all an Israeli flag and also a yellow ribbon to remember until the Israeli hostages all come home.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else have any announcements to share? Hearing no further announcements, we'll go ahead and move into presentations and recognition. Take up item 6.1, which is a resolution honoring Miss Sue Taylor on her 94th birthday. Ms. Huffman.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Whereas Sue Taylor was born on October 7th, 1931, and whereas Sue Taylor is a graduate of Fordham University and a licensed master social worker, and whereas Sue Taylor shared 33 wonderful years of marriage with her late husband, Abram Taylor, and is the devoted mother of Kay Taylor Hightower and loving grandmother of Bailey Hightower, and whereas Sue Taylor has been an active member of the NAACP for 7 decades and served as the convener and first president of the National Organization of Women, Southern Westchester. And whereas Sue Taylor's lifelong dedication to advocacy and service has been recognized with numerous honors, including being named New York State Social Worker of the Year in 1988, National Organization of Women New York State Chapter Woman of the Year in 2007, and was honored in 2025 by the Lexington County NAACP for her decades of community activism. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the Mayor and City Council of West Columbia do hereby congratulate Sue Taylor on the joyous occasion of her 94th birthday and commemorate this milestone as a testament to a life dedicated to service, leadership, and community. And be it further resolved that the Mayor and City Council extend their warmest wishes to Sue Taylor for a memorable celebration and continued happiness, health, and fulfillment in the years ahead. Adopted this 7th day of October 2025.
Is there a motion that this be proclaimed? Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Miss Sue, we all think the absolute world of you. She's been such a great, great part of our community. I'm saying a lot of wonderful things. I love you. I appreciate our friendship, and I appreciate all that you've done for our community. Thank you. Without any other comments, if you're in favor, please raise your hand. It is unanimously proclaimed. Y'all come on up. Thank you. Councilmember Moore, you're not getting out of here without singing happy birthday.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Everybody follow me. Sue, we're going to sing happy birthday to you. Okay. Here, I'm going to lead it, though. You ready? Okay, well, I'm going to sing happy birthday right now. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Sue Taylor. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you all. Miss Sue, you're welcome to go ahead and go. For the rest of the night, whatever business you're here for, when we get finished with it, y'all welcome to head on out. We got a long agenda. Nobody's going to be offended if you leave when you've heard enough. It's good to see you out there. So, we'll move down to item 6.2. We'll take up a proclamation celebrating Indigenous Peoples Day and honoring Joshua Schumack.
Right. Whereas Indigenous Peoples Day is observed on the second Monday in October to honor the rich history, culture, and lasting contributions of Indigenous peoples across the United States, and in 2025 will be observed on Monday, October 13th. And whereas the City of West Columbia recognizes the importance of this day as an opportunity to celebrate the resilience, wisdom, and legacy of Indigenous communities whose traditions and values continue to shape our state and nation. And whereas in this spirit of celebration and recognition, the city wishes to honor Joshua Schumack, an extraordinary leader, scholar, and advocate whose lifelong dedication has advanced the preservation of Native American culture, education, and sustainable development throughout South Carolina. And whereas Joshua Schumack's exceptional achievements include receiving the Order of the Palmetto, South Carolina's highest civilian honor, as well as the John Lewis Youth Leadership Award, the Community Leader of the Year Governor's Award, and recognition by the United Nations for leadership in sustainability and Indigenous rights. And whereas through his tireless service and visionary leadership, Joshua Schumack has fostered cultural understanding, civic engagement, and collaboration among communities, enriching the city of West Columbia and inspiring citizens to celebrate diversity, unity, and shared purpose. And whereas his work reflects the values honored on Indigenous Peoples Day, respect for heritage, stewardship of the land, and commitment to justice and education, and serves as a reminder of the importance of honoring Indigenous voices and leadership. And now, therefore, the Mayor and City Council of the City of West Columbia does hereby proclaim Monday, October 13th, 2025 as Indigenous Peoples Day, and hereby recognizes and honors Joshua Schumack for his contributions to West Columbia and the Native American community, proclaimed in the meeting duly assembled this 7th day of October 2025.
Is there a motion that this be proclaimed?
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. Any discussion? Hearing none at this time, if you're in favor, please raise your hand. Councilmember Mattern? It is unanimously proclaimed. Come on up. If you want to say a few words, you're more than welcome.
Thank you very much.
Take the podium.
I would like to thank the council as well as Vanessa Mota, who's out in the audience. I've worked with Vanessa for a few years now, and West Columbia in your celebration of Indigenous Peoples Business Day. We're looking forward to that on the 14th of November. But I'm also working with Cottingham Theater and West Columbia Theater. We're actually putting on a production of The Minutes, which is a 12 Angry Men style play from Broadway that we're bringing locally here, Cottingham Theater. and it's about missing minutes during the time of Indian removal, and it talks more about the Native American experience from the perspective of a council member who comes in. So that's actually going on at the end of the month into Native American Heritage Month. We'd love to see you there, and thank you again for this honor.
Thank you, sir. Moving down to item 6.3, we'll take up a resolution recognizing the Columbia Philatelic, that's pronounced stamp collectors, if I'm not mistaken, Society on celebrating its 90th anniversary.
Ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Whereas October is recognized nationally as Stamp Collecting Month, celebrating the history, art, and culture embodied in postage stamps and promoting the joy and educational value of philately. And whereas the Columbia Philatelic Society, founded in 1935, is celebrating its 90th anniversary, marking 9 decades of fostering knowledge, appreciation, and fellowship among stamp collectors across South Carolina and beyond. And whereas the Columbia Philatelic Society is the largest active stamp club in South Carolina, continuing a proud tradition of connecting enthusiasts, preserving history, and encouraging the hobby for future generations. And whereas the society was founded by a small group of dedicated philatelists who sought to share their passion for collecting, research, and education with others in the community. And whereas the Columbia Philatelic Society hosts 2 annual stamp shows each year, serving collectors throughout the Southeast, providing opportunities for learning, trading, and showcasing collections of historical and cultural significance. And whereas the Columbia Philatelic Society has long held its monthly meetings in the city of West Columbia, contributing to the city's vibrant community life and continuing its mission of promoting philately, I even wrote it down how to say it, philately as both a hobby and an educational tool. And whereas the society will commemorate its 90th anniversary with a celebration on Sunday, October 19th, 2025 at 2 p.m. at the Tri-City Leisure Center in West Columbia, marking a significant milestone in the organization's history. And now therefore be it resolved, the mayor and city council hereby recognize the Columbia Philatelic Society on the occasion of its 90th anniversary, commend its members for their dedication to promoting the art and history of stamp collecting, and extend best wishes for continued success and growth in the years to come. Adopted the 7th day of October, 2025.
Good job. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second? Any discussion? Hearing none at this time, if you're in favor, please raise your hand. Councilmember Mattern? It is unanimously resolved. Moving down to item 6.4, we'll hear from Ms. Keller Barron in regards to a presentation on Project Vote 411 from the League of Women Voters.
Good evening. I'm Keller Barron, and I live at Still Hopes.
It's
And
so
it's-
nice to see you again this evening. Thank you for
Well,
coming.
thank you. We appreciate you and Councilman Derrick coming to visit us. I live at Still Hopes, and as one of your constituents and as a member of the League of Women Voters, I want to thank you first for your public service. Thank you for using your time and your interest to help make democracy work. The League of Women Voters is a nonpartisan organization that was founded after women got the right to vote in 1920. So we've been around a long time with Sue. Sue's gone. In fact, long enough to invite men to be members too. I'd like to tell you about a national program the League of Women Voters has to assist candidates in getting their message out to voters and to empower you, the voters, by having the opportunity to get to know the candidates in order to make informed election choices. The program is called Vote 411. I have on my Halloween costume, and you see that that's what it is, Vote 411. Election guide. We sent the candidates in the municipal election of November the 4th a letter, an invitation to participate. We asked their qualifications and several questions. The administrator of it, Rachel Dita, is here with us with her sister, Chris Wilkinson, a new resident in West Columbia. Now you, the voter, can go to vote411.org, and we put the QR code on there. Some of you have the cards, and find out what's on your ballot by entering your address. And then your ballot comes up, and you see who the candidates are. for your district and whether or not they've responded to the invitation. If they've not responded, you let them know. So now our job is twofold: to invite them to participate and then to let you know about Vote 411 and let others to know. And that's what we're doing tonight. Other members of the League of Women Voters are going to all the councils in the 15 municipalities in Richland and Lexington counties to tell about it. And we went to all the libraries in both counties, and we distributed Vote 411 information and our directory of municipalities, which you all are all listed in that directory. We hope this information will help get out the vote, because we all know that often the municipal elections are very low turnout. But it's very important because you do important work. So early voting starts October the 20th, so let's get ready to cast our vote. And thank you again for your service.
Thank you, ma'am. And thank y'all for running the Vote 411. It really is a great program. It provides great information. It's helpful to the candidates because they get a chance to put together concise statements, but it's really great for the public because they can access that information so easily. So we thank you for doing it. Moving down to item 6.5, we'll take up a proclamation for October the 5th through 11th, 2005, to be recognized as National Fire Prevention Week. We'll hear from Chief Solomon.
Good evening, Council. Good evening, Mayor. I wanted to speak on a proclamation for National Fire Prevention Week. Whereas the City of West Columbia is committed to ensuring the safety and security of all those living in and visiting in West Columbia, and whereas fire remains a serious public safety concern both locally and nationally, and the presence of lithium-ion batteries in many household devices introduce unique fire risk, and whereas most electronics used in homes daily, including smartphones, tablets, laptops, power tools, e-bikes, e-scooters, and toys are powered by lithium-ion batteries, which, if misused, damaged, or improperly charged, can overheat and start a fire or explode. And whereas the National Fire Protection Association reports an increase in battery-related fires, underscoring the need for public education on the safe use of lithium-ion batteries. And whereas residents should follow 3 key calls to action: buy only listed products, charge batteries safely, and recycle them responsibly to prevent battery-related fires. And whereas lithium-ion batteries store a large amount of energy in a small space, and improper use as overcharging, using off-brand chargers without safety certification, or exposing batteries to damage can result in fires or explosions. And whereas the proper disposal and recycling of lithium-ion batteries help prevent environmental hazards, reduce fire risk in the homes and communities. And whereas West Columbia first responders are dedicated to reducing the occurrence of fires through prevention, safety education, and community outreach. And whereas the 2025 Fire Prevention Week theme, Charge Into Fire Safety, Lithium-Ion Batteries in Your Home, serves to remind us of the importance of using, charging, recycling lithium-ion batteries safely to reduce the risk of fires in homes and communities. And now therefore be resolved that the Mayor and City Council of West Columbia do hereby proclaim October 5th through the 11th, 2025 as National Fire Prevention Week throughout the City of West Columbia, South Carolina.
Thank you, Chief. Wonderful job. Is there a motion that this be proclaimed? Is there a second? Any discussion? Hearing none at this time, if you're in favor, please raise your hand. Councilmember Mattern? It is unanimously proclaimed. Thank you, Chief.
Fantastic. I'd like to add, as part of this week, we will have an open house at the West Columbia Fire Department for the citizens. That's 610 North 12th Street. We invite you all to come out. We will have food, games, and also allow you all the opportunity to kind of see what it is that your fire department does. And we also will have a blood drive as well. So we hope to see you all, and that'll be from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. this Friday at the West Columbia Fire Department.
I commend you for the educational work that you and the men and women in the fire department do. I know it's a year-round effort that y'all make to try to help prevent fires and emergencies and not just respond to them, so we appreciate it greatly.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Moving now to item 6.6, we'll take up a presentation of proposed amendments to the West Columbia Code of Ordinances and the West Columbia Special Event Policy and Procedures regarding the approval of alcohol consumption and road closures as part of the special event permitting process. We'll hear from Ms. Michelle Dickerson.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. At the next council meeting, staff will present amendments to you for your consideration that would streamline the special event permitting process. The amendments will include allowing the city administrator to approve alcohol consumption and road closures for special events. These changes will make the special event permitting process more efficient while also maintaining the appropriate oversight.
Yeah, I think this is a great thing. One, it'll help clean up our agenda some, help narrow into public business things that really need public debate. But two, it'll also make us more flexible. If you have folks who need approval and it doesn't fall within times that we have a council meeting, it'll allow for a quicker response. So I thank y'all for doing this and looking at it. I think it will really help us be more responsive to the public and provide some additional flexibility. So thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Any other questions, comments, concerns?
Does this cover, is it gonna cover people getting waivers for the amphitheater fee? Okay.
I'm sorry, I thought you were asking would it cover events in the amphitheater. No, this does not speak to amphitheater fee waivers.
Yeah, so the fee waiver is generally a different consideration. I have no problem to putting that in. Those things often run hand in hand. And I don't see why it wouldn't be an appropriate matter for the city administrator to consider as well, so.
That'd be good if y'all can look at it at least.
Yeah, we can certainly draft something for council's review and consideration, absolutely.
Thank you.
Wonderful, thank you.
It's a good point. Thank you. Moving down to item 6.7, we'll take up a presentation of proposed amendments to section 616 of the West Columbia zoning ordinance regarding NASAC's classifications and conflicts. We'll hear from Ms. Michelle Dickerson.
Thank you, Mayor. This proposed text amendment would be to section 616 of the zoning ordinance. It would clarify how the city will handle conflicts between the NAICS code and the city's zoning ordinances. While the NAICS code is useful for identifying industry types, it does not always align perfectly with the city's permitted uses. This amendment would authorize the zoning administrator to make a recommendation to the city administrator, and then for the city administrator to make a determination when discrepancies arise. This ensures consistent interpretation and application of the city's zoning ordinance. And you're not being asked to make a decision on this tonight. This will have to go before the Planning Commission, and then it would come back before council.
As a bit of background, so 2 years ago or so, we moved to update the codes to make some consistency between our zoning and our business license. Whenever we did that, we updated to a national system of codes. And there were a lot of things in our zoning code that didn't square up in line directly with the new code system that we went to. We tried to be as proactive as possible and put a lot of time into catching as many of those things as we could, but it's been apparent over the last 2 years that there were many, many unintended consequences. And where the impact comes up is you have folks who want to come move in and start doing business, maybe in a building that's traditionally been used for that. There's been some break in the use, and now due to an unintended change between the business license and the zoning, it's no longer allowed, but everybody who's looked at it has said it should be allowed, and we can go spend 3 months and make it where it is allowed. But in that time period, telling folks you can't operate for 3 months, it has really impacted a lot of folks who have wanted to come in and make use of buildings for perfectly appropriate usage. So this would allow some additional flexibility to get those folks in, to have them start operating whenever it's a common sense deal. So that's kind of my 50-cent take on it. Any other questions, comments, concerns?
Just a question, Mayor. Is there what would the appeal process be? Would it be to us then?
Whatever we make it.
Okay.
No. Well, the zoning administrator would sign off on that after the city administrator has made the determination, and then that would be an appeal to the zoning board.
Better answer than I gave.
The zoning board does that?
Yes.
That's on one reading? That would be on one reading of the zoning board?
That would be, the zoning board would make, that would be an appeal from the city, from the zoning administrator's decision, and that would be a hearing in front of the zoning board.
And they would
And then
do that on one reading, right?
Yes,
Just
and
trying to
then,
get an idea how long this takes.
yes, and then an appeal, if the zoning board, from whatever decision that is, that would be an appeal to circuit court.
Right.
That's for an appeal. As far as the process of adopting these changes, we'll go through the course of probably 45 to 90 days, because we have to go to the planning commission for a public hearing and then come back to council for 2 readings.
I was talking about what the changes to the NAICS, so people could get their business operating. I was just wondering what the turnover time was.
That process is what we're talking about here, where it will need to go to the planning commission for a public hearing and then come back to city council for 2 readings. So that process from today could take maybe about 45 days to get that accomplished. And then once that's in place, then the decision-making is on an administrative level and for review. And then if there's an appeal, you know, that would go through
I
a
see what
different
you're saying.
process.
So it's an administrative level of, got it. Okay.
Yes, sir.
The expectation being that the vast majority of folks who apply would not be appealing if it is granted.
At the staff
Only-
level.
That's
Yeah,
right.
That's what I was asking.
Yeah. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Thank you. Hearing none, we'll move on down to item 6.8. We'll take up a presentation of Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting Award for fiscal year 2024 for Government Finance Officers Association of the United States and Canada. We'll hear from Mr. Justin Black, who's also known as Birthday Boy, I think,
Yeah, sure.
if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir. Yes. sir.
We had to fire Councilmember Moy back up. I think it's your 40th.
No, it's all good. We're good.
40th birthday?
Miss Sue's night tonight.
David, go ahead. We're ready.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Justin. Happy birthday to you. Did faster tempo.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Try to look happy when we serenade you. Jeez.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate that. Councilman Moy, thank you very much. So GFOA sets the standards in financial reporting for all governmental agencies. This is the highest form of recognition that we can receive in financial reporting as a local government. This is the 34th year in a row in receiving this award, which speaks to the tradition of financial reporting excellence at the city. The only way this is possible is through the hard work and dedication of our finance team, the leadership of city administration, and the direction of you, City Council. So thank you.
Thank you for y'all's hard work. Y'all do a tremendous job. We appreciate it. 34 years ago, you were 6 years old.
That's right.
That's a pretty good streak. I hope y'all keep it going.
Thank you.
Moving down to item 6, any other questions, comments? Anybody else have anything to offer? Moving down to item 6.9, we'll take up a presentation of payroll accrual changes. We'll hear from Mr. Justin Black.
Thank you, Mayor. For the longest time, the city has been on a current basis pay structure for payroll. Essentially, this means every biweekly payroll period ends on the pay date that payroll actually runs. The city has looked at transitioning to an accrual basis pay structure for many years. This will require the city to accrue pay for a 1-week period to fully transition. We have researched multiple options for accomplishing this change to our payroll process. Our top priority has always been to avoid a negative impact on employees with the transition. The best option is for the city to advance regularly scheduled employees 1 week in pay. This will be to accomplish the 1-week accrual and not require funds to be spent during the initial transition. The transition pay period would include 1 week in actual hours worked by the employee and an additional 1 week in pay advance by the city. Attached to, and as y'all had on your days tonight, is an informational flyer explaining what that looks like. This transition to an accrual basis pay structure will be more efficient. It will allow for a longer window for processing, eliminate cumbersome adjustments adjustments and make each payroll period more clear for hours worked for employees. We will plan to start this transition on the October 30th, 2025 payroll. No payroll dates will change with this. The attached flyer will be given to all employees. We plan to meet with employees to educate them about this transition. We plan to be at shift changes or meet in individual groups, whichever we need to do over the next 3 weeks to make sure everybody understands what this transition means. There's no action needed by council. It's just more information, and I appreciate your support.
And our same finance staff who has won awards for 34 years in a row has done a cost benefit analysis and determined that the minor costs that this is going to cost the city in return, in regards to advancing a week's pay for some folks, is greatly outweighed by the increased efficiency and the improvement that we're going to get from an administrative side.
Yes, sir. With very limited impact to employees.
Any questions, comments, concerns?
Justin, when an employee leaves, will there be any effect on them when they leave?
It'll kind of work out in the wash when upon some sort of termination or retirement.
Okay.
Dismissal.
Mr. Black, I want to know, is this change going to be reflected on any pay stubs and things? So when the employee is looking at the pay stub, it will reflect the change in the appropriate pay period?
Yes, it will.
We've been vetted to make sure there's no payment of wages since there's no decrease, that we don't have any additional notice we need to provide the employees, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Any other questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none, thank you, sir.
Thank y'all.
Moving down to item 6.10, we'll take up a presentation of policies for addition to the West Columbia City Employee Handbook. We'll hear from Ms. Carrie Garrett,
Good
Director of
evening.
Human Resources.
Yes, good
Good
evening.
to see you.
I gave you all a copy to take with you to review. We just need to update a few policies in our handbook. And any questions you have, feel free to reach out to me and I can go over anything you have. Sure. For example, one of the first policy, we wanted to add a paragraph on our nepotism policy about employees disclosing relationships, on a holiday, adding Christmas Eve as a holiday. We need to add a motor vehicle driving record policy so that we have the legal permission to check our employees' driving records who regularly drive city vehicles. Will be pulling their driving record annually. That brings us in compliance with our liability insurance. Updating our social media policy. Everything in the social media policy, if you see any strikeouts, it is contained somewhere else in the policy. We didn't remove anything from it, we only added to it. And adding vaping to our smoke-free workplace policy.
Any questions, comments, concerns?
Ms. Garrett, I got a couple of questions, as you probably imagine I would.
Mr. Dickey's our resident employment attorney.
Yeah.
With regard to the motor vehicle policy, do we have anything already in our policies that discusses requirement for mandatory drug tests or anything?
Mandatory drug testing?
Yes, if there's an
Yes.
accident, or are you gonna have this reflected within this policy as well?
So our drug testing policy actually covers some people who don't drive vehicles. Like our drug testing policy covers water plant operators and they're not required to drive vehicles. So we do have a drug testing policy in our handbook already. So we wouldn't have to reflect it in here. This is mainly about that driving record and giving a criteria for people that when we pull that driving record, even if they're new hire or, pre-hire, what our criteria is, or, if they have a record that surprises us.
And does this policy, well, if we have a situation where we have an employee that is going to be issued a vehicle or newly coming on, transferring into a department where they drive, does this policy reflect that situation as well? Mm-hmm. And on the social media policy, just kind of quick, with regards to our grievance policy, does any violation of social media policy, will that be determined as a grievable offense, or how is that gonna work?
So our grievable offenses would be, if you lost a promotion, if you were given a suspension without pay, or if you were terminated. So any discipline you receive, those consequences would be grievable. So if they received that discipline from its social media policy, that would make it grievable.
And I see that on the last page of the policy, it says going to the PIO or HR. I just want to make sure that we are, if we're going to leave that phrase in there, I want to make sure that as far as from a city standpoint, this is consistent with whatever messaging is going to come out, or any responding to questions or comments from employees. So I just want to bring that to your attention.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments, concerns?
Quick question on the social media policy where it says employees may not post or share the following on personal or city-related devices. Number 6, where it says photos of other employees. I know we've had some instances, I don't know if we necessarily have it now. I can think of one relationship in particular. I don't think either one of them are still with us as of recently, but when they're friends and they're out, either even on vacation, are those not prohibited?
I would think that when we're, if two people were posting policies as friends, I mean, I guess it's subject to interpretation. But absolutely, if you were posting as an employee of, you would not want to do that. One of the things we encourage people to do, especially in relation to work, is share the city's post.
Right.
You know, when the city, creates their post. And we really don't want employees creating posts about other employees,
Right.
even if they're great things. We want them to share the city's post. So that's really the focus. If two people were friends,
What I don't want to have happen, and I can think back to a time where this could have come into play here, is I would like the policy to be a little more firm on that one. I don't want there to be a lot of gray area, because right now we get along really good, but that could change in 5-10 years, and who knows? So I would like for maybe a little more, if it's possible, on that one in particular, and maybe anything else, to not have any gray area there. I don't personally see a problem if two friends are out and they both work at the city and they post pictures of each other together, but I could see where that could become an issue at some point if it says that. So I don't know if there's a better way to
okay,
phrase that or not, if anybody
will-
else sees an issue
I
with it.
can look into that, definitely.
And I'll tell you, without having reviewed it, I mean, I'll be upfront with you, I haven't looked at it. But is there something in there that wouldn't make it problematic where if we're all down at Fallback Fest and Michelle posts a picture and I'm standing there with her, or if Emory, whenever we do city events or city functions, or if I send them a photograph to post and there's another city employee who's in it, that would make it where that's not problematic.
I think that, the question of photos of other employees, like that, absolutely, when you give that scenario of, say, a Fallback Fest, and it's your own photo, I think that, other than that, I don't think this policy would be an issue, or the changes to the policy would be an issue.
Mayor, the questions that you and others have raised are things that we certainly will look at and clarify. Council's not being asked to approve anything tonight. We will come back at a future meeting, and just want to make sure you would not have had the opportunity to review this prior to this meeting. It was placed at the desk and waiting for you and each person when you arrived. So there's no expectation to have read this previously. This is simply an introduction. Then let us know if you have questions along the way, and we will come back to council for future consideration and approval.
Thank you.
And on that same point, real quick on the photo thing again, there could be instances where an employee is doing something they shouldn't be doing. Another employee says, well, I'm going to take a picture of them doing this, and they post it on social media, and it looks bad for the city. It looks bad for the employee. I don't think that should be taken up with the supervisor or city administration. So I do think that there's reasons for some of that. So don't think I'm saying that we should allow pictures to be taken wherever. I think there needs to be a little more.
Well, and we have employees who would like to maintain an expectation of private lives, you know, and that don't really want to be photographed and put on social media because they happen to be in a picture. I mean, you're right. It's a balance of respecting that and being able to share your friendly moments.
And I just wanted to add to that, what happens if, I mean, as council members, we're basically employees. I mean, so if we're taking a picture with, I mean, maybe the administrator or the police chief or the fire chief or any number of employees, any number of our great employees, what would be the policy on that, just to make sure that we understand that clearly?
Yeah, and that is, we can.
It's certainly something we can
Yes.
look into as well and have information.
And I had another question or two on the motor vehicle driving record. If an employee is involved in an accident in a city vehicle right now, is there a mandatory drug test for that employee?
Yes, if our employee is at fault, there's a mandatory drug test.
If he's at fault. If he's not at fault, then there's not.
Correct, according to our drug test policy.
Okay, and then on the smoking issue, I think that you say except for designated smoking areas. Do we have any designated smoking areas at City Hall?
We do.
Okay.
They're outside,
Yeah.
out of public view.
Okay, so, I mean, we're going to be basically keeping the cigarette butts, trash cans, right, or something?
Yes, we keep those, we can't control if a member of the public walks up to the building with a cigarette or whatnot, and we want to provide a safe opportunity for them to extinguish that before entering the building.
And all these areas have been clearly designated by us then? Or employees know where it is?
Yes.
Okay.
They've been in place for, since about 2004.
Thank you.
Having gone to a junior high and a high school that both had designated smoking areas, I'm glad that tradition is still alive. Moving down to item 6.11, we'll take up an introduction of Holly Crawford as event manager. Come on up. Congratulations, you are much needed.
Thank you. Mayor and council, I'm excited to introduce Holly Crawford, our new events manager for the city. Holly brings nearly 2 decades of experience in event planning, marketing, and community involvement, with a strong background in organizing large-scale public events that are meaningful and engaging for the community. She holds a degree in sport and entertainment management from the University of South Carolina. She has built her career through leadership roles at organizations such as Still Hopes Episcopal Retirement Community, Charleston County Parks and Recreation, and Lexington County Recreation. We're excited to have her lead the city's efforts in creating engaging, well-executed events that showcase everything West Columbia has to offer.
We're excited you're here. Thank you for joining our team. You have anything you'd like to offer?
I am grateful for this opportunity, and I hope to see you all at Fallback Fest.
Anyone have any questions, comments, concerns?
Just 2 questions. Where did you come from? I mean, where do you live? Or where did you live before you came here?
I live in Lexington, but I was born and raised in West Columbia.
Okay. And what is your favorite candy bar?
Ooh, that's tough. I'd have to say Reese's Christmas trees.
Reese's Christmas trees.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Hey,
Anyone else?
Hey, Holly, I'll tell you this real quick. Your daddy's been coming up to me for 3 months probably talking about you at breakfast on Fridays, and I know he's extremely proud of you, and I've heard nothing but good things about you, and glad to have you finally on board.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This time we'll move down to requests for public appearances and citizens' comments. At 7.1, we'll hear from Ms. Heaven Hegelson. If you will, please come on up, and you're going to stand right here and just say your full name and give your address for the record. And we generally ask that folks, when they address us, limit their comments to 3 minutes. So I will go ahead and start a timer.
Okay.
And,
Before I start, I do have a couple folders with information that I wanted to pass out to each of you, if that was okay.
yeah, if you don't mind, you can give them to the desk right there and.
Efficiency.
Sorry, thank you, thank you. Oh, one for each, yes, thank you.
There's no need to be nervous. You take your time.
Okay, thank you. I'll wait till those are passed out. I can go ahead and introduce myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
My name is Heaven Aguilar Helgeson. I reside at 1020 Natchez Trail here in West Columbia. And I can go ahead and begin, if that's
Yeah,
okay.
absolutely.
Okay. So I'm here on behalf, speaking for my mother. She lives there. She's owned the property since 2017. For the first couple of years, everything was fine, but around 2019, recurring sinkholes began to form in her front yard near a retaining wall built by ICA Engineering in 2013 under contract with the City of West Columbia. That wall appears to have been built without a properly installed geotextile fabric, leading to underground soil erosion and cracking in her home's foundation. She has spent thousands of dollars refilling those holes only for them to return. Engineering inspections found cracked stormwater pipes and possible leaking drainage infrastructure beneath the property as well. That leakage has caused river water mold to develop in her crawl space and her children's bedroom. The contaminated soil around the home likely contains sewage and harmful bacteria, which can cause gastrointestinal illnesses and other health problems. Over the past few years, my mother's 3 children, aside from myself, ages 15, 6, and 5, have experienced repeated cases of strep, E. coli, and persistent stomach and respiratory issues. Our pediatrician has also provided a written recommendation stating that the mold and exposure inside the home are unsafe and that the family should be relocated or provided immediate assistance until the problem is resolved. That was in 2024. She obtained an estimate to lift and stabilize her home from Canty Foundation specialists and her mold report from Hayes Microbial Consulting through a lawyer. However, after having difficulties gaining access to the wall / property at issue, he suggested that it would be in her best interest to retain the services of the attorney who has the state and political connections she needs. To move forward. He was referencing her previous attorney, Frank McMaster, which I'm sure based on his name you can deduce why. My mother does not have the resources to hire lawyer after lawyer, nor the time while caring for 3 sick children and day-to-day life. After witnessing the severity of my siblings' illnesses and personally smelling the strong sewer odor each time I visit, I realized that someone who understands the full scope of what's happening and has the persistence to advocate for them needed to step forward. While researching this issue, we obtained FOIA documents showing that this problem was known years before my mother moved in. A June 30th, 2015 letter from SCDOT to the previous owners explains that the City of West Columbia secured USDA grant funding in 2013 and hired ICA Engineering to design and build the retaining wall. The letter also states that any future maintenance should be discussed between those 3 entities. And in the same letter, SCDOT offered to collaborate with the city on a $400,000 hydrologic study.
Thank you, ma'am. Your time's up.
Okay. Could I possibly? Okay. Well, then that is all. Any questions?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Alrighty.
Moving down to item 7.2, we'll hear from Miss Ann Spainhour. Ms. Spainhour, if you would, please come on up, say your name and your address. We ask that you please keep your comments to 3 minutes or less.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Ann Spainhour. I reside at 1336 Alpine Drive, West Columbia. Known in the community, I live at the top of Thrill Hill. So, by the young people, they love it. I'm here tonight to just bring to your attention some problems that we've been having with coyotes in that area. We're very fortunate to live close to the river, and we enjoy all the wildlife that we have in our community. But recently, the coyotes are being seen not only at night, but like at 10:30 in the morning. I'm going to name several streets: Canary, Alpine, Redwood, and Hummingbird. Hummingbird, as you know, is the street that comes in directly from 378. And the coyotes have been seen on that road, and right next to that, that's where you have Northside Middle School and the elementary school. I called the city to let them know that we had been noticing the coyotes. We've not had any damage that we see that we can prove that the coyotes did. But of course, we're concerned about the small children that are out in the yards and all the people that walk in that area. So I'm just asking the city to see if there's anything that we can do to protect not only other wildlife, but you know, we're very fortunate to have beautiful deer, and if you have deer and you have a river, you're going to have coyotes. But it is unusual to see them during the daytime.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, and thank you for your service.
Moving down to section 8, we'll take up approval of minutes from previous meetings. Item 8.1, is there a motion to approve the minutes from the regular council meeting held on September 2nd, 2025?
So moved.
Is there a second? Any discussion? Hearing none at this time, if you're in favor, please raise your hand. Councilmember Mattern? They are unanimously approved. Moving down to section 9, new business, we'll take up item 9.1, which is consideration of a resolution to authorize the public consumption of alcoholic beverages and temporary road closures at the Fallback Fest event to be held on Friday, November the 7th, 2025. Is there a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none at this time, if you're in favor, please raise your hand. Councilmember Mattern? Those opposed? Passes 7-2. Moving down to item 9.2, we'll take up consideration to approve a bond for Pinecrest Phase 3. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second? Any discussion? Hearing none at this time, if you're in favor, please raise your hand. Councilmember Mattern? It is unanimously approved. Moving down to item 9.3, we'll take up first reading consideration of an ordinance to annex a total of 3.22 acres of property. Tax map number 004663-01-011, also known as 919 North Lucas Street, West Columbia, South Carolina. Is there a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none.
Oh, sorry. Is there any information about what the plan is here? Because I know we've talked about North Lucas Street a few times.
Yes, this actually is a dog rescue organization. They've been operating there for some time now, and they're buying the building. So we talked to them. They agreed to come into the city, and we're going to bring them in so they can do all their work with the city and all the upfits and permits and all that good stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none at this time, if you're in favor, please raise your hand. Councilmember Mattern? It is unanimously given first reading approval. Moving down to item 9.4, we'll take up first reading consideration of an ordinance to annex a total of 4.43 acres of property. Tax map number 004597-10-076, located on Matthias Road, West Columbia, South Carolina. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second? Any discussion?
What's
Well, that actually is next to another piece or parcel that's owned by the gentleman that is a partner in the hotels, you know, the Residence Inn and the Town Place Suites. So they bought the property next to the Residence Inn, and we annexed that in a few years ago. And he's now buying this piece that's contiguous with it, and wants it in the city. So his plan is to develop, but he doesn't have a specific development plan at this time.
Any other questions, comments, concerns?
Just so I understand, the hotel is at the 900 across the street, is that right?
Well, it's on the same side of the street.
Oh, it's on the
as
same side?
hotel, Right.
Oh, the satellite doesn't, I can't see from the satellite, sorry.
Yeah.
It's at 929 then? This little sliver here? The sliver above it?
Unfortunately, I can't see it, but
I know.
it's an odd-shaped, sort of a triangular parcel that is next to the rectangular parcel that is next to the Residence Inn, if that makes sense. So, and again, this is, you know, contiguous with his other parcel, so it gives him more property and more opportunity for a development, for a larger development on down the road. So.
Any other questions, comments, concerns? No good? Hearing none at this time, if you're in favor, please raise your hand. Councilmember Mattern? It is unanimously given first reading consideration. Thank you, sir. Wonderful job. Moving over to section 10, old business, we'll take up item 10.1. Second reading consideration of the Planning Commission's recommendation to approve the rezoning of two parcels totaling .85 acres at 1511 Gambrell Street, tax map number 004644-03-031 and 004644-03-027 from R2 residential to the requested C3. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. Any discussion? Hearing none at this time, if you're in favor, please raise your hand. Councilmember Mattern? It is unanimously approved. Moving down to item 10.2, we'll take up second reading consideration of the Planning Commission's recommendation to approve the rezoning of one parcel totaling .15 acres at 740 Center Street, tax map number 004638-02-009 from C2 General Commercial to the requested C3 Restricted Commercial. Is there a motion? So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none at this time, if you're in favor, please raise your hand. Councilmember Mattern? It is unanimously approved. Moving down to item 10.3, we'll take up second reading consideration of an ordinance to annex a total of 3.46 acres of property, tax map number 005747-05-018 and 005747-05-019, also known as 345 and 353 Dreer Road, West Columbia, South Carolina. Is there a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none at this time, if you're in favor, please raise your hand. Councilmember Mattern? It is unanimously approved. At this time, I will welcome a motion to adjourn to executive session for purposes of a discussion of personnel matters related to the city clerk pursuant to South Carolina Code annotated 30-4-70A1 and routine discussion of personnel matter related to the police chief's employment agreement renewal pursuant to South Carolina Code annotated section 30-4-70A1 and discussion of legal matter related to the hearing officer for business license tax assessment and appeals pursuant to South Carolina Code annotated 30-4-70A2. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none at this time, if you're in favor, please raise your hand. Councilmember Mattern? We are unanimously adjourned into executive session. We may take action when we come back out. We may not. If you're here when we get back, we'll see you then. If not, we'll see you next.